Today we're speedrunning Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. Now the speedrun starts with exactly where we left off on Chapter 4, with Huggy Wuggy trying to get in this door. The door behind us won't open until Huggy Wuggy gets close enough to us, then finally we can start sprinting away, and this man is chasing us right from the beginning of the game. And this is a pretty cool chase. I do like how they started out this game like this, and exactly where we're going to want to go is into this fire, down over here, and crouch down, you know, just teaching us the regular movement controls and all that, until we make it over into this vent section, which is very claustrophobic. And of course, after we move far enough down, it is gonna break on us because nothing can go right, and Huggy Wuggy is right there trying to chase after us, but we got to go through these things which are trying to crush us, and we can use our powers to move that stuff over and continue on our way. We'll squeeze past this wall, see another one of these which we want to pull. Huggy Wuggy this whole time is just trying to break through these windows, and now he's chasing after us. But this is a pretty simple path. We want to turn left over here. There's going to be one of those hand sensors, so we can actually do that. We can look back, see Huggy Wuggy is coming, but we'll wait for that door to open, and then from here we just want to keep turning right. There are parts that slow you down, like this one. We're moving in the wrong direction of the conveyor, but as long as I'm keeping that general direction, we can make it to here. Huggy Wuggy punches us down there. Now we're in the vents, and we just got to move forward. Yeah, this man is relentless, but we do finally make it to a little bit of safety by taking this slide down here, hitting onto that. We are a little bit bloody, but that's fine, and now we're safe, at least for now. So we're going to continue on our way, and we can use the grab pack to go through things like swinging with the grab handles. We'll see a bunch of boxes, and you already know that means we're gonna have to pull them and use them to find a way out. And what I like doing right here is actually grabbing this box, jumping on top of it, and then we can jump repeatedly while pulling, and that will give us some sort of physics that allow us to just jump from there. After that, we'll squeeze through that point. We'll get a box that falls down. We can make this jump, go into that place we pulled off, and yeah, just some pretty fun movement. Then Huggy Wuggy is gonna reach his hand in here, try to attack us. We'll just kind of say hi to him for a second. But yeah, even when we thought we were safe, this man is not going to stop. He really wants to murder us. I mean, to be fair, we did kind of cause a lot of injuries for him in the first game, so I can't blame him too much. But we have another chance to make it away. We swing past this thing. There is going to be this elevator over here, and this is kind of like a loading section where it sprays you with water for some reason. But eventually this door will open up, and we're in this engine room where there's a bunch of fire, and we have to turn these valves. This valve has a lot of turning it does need, but we do need to turn it the whole way, so we do get rid of that fire. And there's going to be another one right here. You'll see you do have to stand in this exact spot. It does not want you to move and try to speedrun your way out of this. That way Huggy Wuggy will actually be able to see us. You can see his eyes. He is very angry and is having a great time. But unfortunately for him, he is wasting a lot of time just screaming at us. If he just jumped at us straight, he might have actually gotten us. But we can keep running over here. Finally, there's going to be this elevator, and you know, we're definitely safe here, right? Except at this point in this elevator, there's a bunch of lights and places where Huggy Wuggy can punch through and try to attack us. So I'm just looking my way out. I'm looking at all the things, like that light was starting to get out, so we knew a hand was coming there, and I'm just trying not to die. By the way, if you end up enjoying the video, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Finally though, after he punches through a bunch of stuff, we know we can come straight over towards this elevator door. Because the elevator is going to stop, we have to use our hand here, but then Huggy Wuggy comes through. He takes our entire grab pack, so now we have no hands at all, and we're pretty much defenseless. Before then, we just fall to the ground, but thankfully, we never actually get too hurt. We're gonna be fine. But yeah, there's the title screen. This is gonna be fun. Now, once we wake up, we are a little bit confused, but that's gonna be fine, because what we gotta do is just run straight. But like I said, we no longer have the grab pack, which is like the main thing you have for this game, so we're pretty defenseless. And there are gonna be automals, which are creatures that are gonna try to attack us, and we gotta make sure they don't actually get to us, and we can use light to do that. Every time you turn on a light, they will run away, like that guy right there. So we just got to keep turning on these lights, making sure they won't come to us. I can do that one, make that guy move, and hit this button to open up another door. And pretty much from here, it's just going from light to light. We want to hit that lever, move that dude. These guys will be talking to each other like, oh, who is that? Little do they know, I'm just a random guy who's in this factory for some reason. Then we can come over to this door. There's going to be some automals running, and normally when they're running somewhere, you know that's the direction you should go. So we can open up that light, and yeah, not too much to say about this part. We just hit levers, open up doors, and go from one to the next. But sometimes there's a little bit of differing paths, like we have to go through these gigantic hooks, which are here for some reason. Those are kind of terrifying. And for this one, it's a whole thing of hooks, and we want to make make sure we don't get too far out of the direction we're supposed to go into, because otherwise an Automole will attack us, and they won't kill us, but they'll do a bit of damage and jump scare us, so I just don't want that to happen. But finally, we make it over to this room. We can turn on that light, press that button, and here is going to be our flashlight. So the flashlight's really nice because now we can shine it at the Automoles. They're going to run away, so we're not going to be scared of them anymore, and we can just pretty much run all the way back. The flashlight is also awesome. I love this guy. He gives you alerts. He tells you, hey, you should go this way. I mean, we don't really need that stuff because we are speedrunning, but it is nice to have, and it's nice to have a companion. Now we're running past this guy, trying to chase after him. Unfortunately, he's a bit too fast for us. And from here, I just want to make sure I do shine my light on all of these little guys just to make sure they won't attack us. And we'll just keep going on our way. There's going to be this door over here. We can run to this door, which, oops, that actually wasn't what I was supposed to do. Yeah, I forgot before that door, we're supposed to come to this one and get this master key. So only a little bit of a time loss. Thankfully, we didn't actually die, because for the speedrun, I am going to try to do it deathless. That will be the goal. But an annoying thing about these doors is some of them take a while to actually open. Some of them will be straight away. Other ones you have to wait at them for a second, probably because you're trying to like fumble with your keys or something, I guess. I don't know. It's just a little annoying because I'm like, wait, is this the correct way? And then finally it opens up and I'm like, okay, I guess it was. But we make it over here. There's going to be an Automole that tries to attack us, but as he's dragging us away, the boy Giblet comes off and says, hey, I'm gonna help this guy. But we will skip past it for the speedrun. Basically, all you have to know is that this guy thinks we're someone called the Butcher because we keep killing all these toys, and he wants to help us kill the prototype, so that's pretty cool. You do have to wait for him to walk by. Like right here, he uses his telekinesis powers to open up this vent, and we do have to wait for him to actually do that. Once we make it through here, though, there is going to be another unskippable cutscene, this time with the prototype. We hear him coming by, we see all his red mist, and of course, we're gonna hide, but we're only gonna get to see his legs, and he's gonna stab this poor Automole, which unlucky for that guy. But eventually he does leave, and now we gotta go with Giblet over to his base, which then there's gonna be some more unskippable cutscenes, but he tells us his plans to beat the prototype, so that's our main goal. I mean, he's got a nice base too, gotta appreciate it. And after a lot of talking, he tells us we can go get a grab pack, so that's gonna be our first mission, and we just gotta head over into this vent, and we do get to keep our flashlight buddy, so you gotta love that. Especially in these vents, because they would be scary if I didn't have a flashlight to tell me where to go. But we'll just keep running on our way through these different places, and our goal is to find Bron. Yeah, Bron is right here lying down, not doing the best in the world if I'm going to be honest, and there are a bunch of Automoles that are currently eating him, which is really messed up, but he's eating the grab pack. I'm going to grab that, and we can also move over this thing so we can bring it where it needs to go, and while we're waiting to pull it over, we might as well help Bron out because I do not want these people to eat you, so we'll smack them in the face, get them out of there. But from there, we can use that platform to jump through there, and here the code is always going to be the exact same thing, so it will be 0859. We can open that up and it gives us the pressure hand, and this allows us, instead of to always pull, we can now push, so we can use it on that green thing, charge up our entire push, and that moves that thing over. We'll have to do it one more time here, so pretty much the exact same thing, and that gives us this path over here, and we can also use this on vents, so we can push that, get that out of the way, and yeah, it's pretty useful. So we're heading through some more vents, you know, just kind of the normal stuff at this point, until we see another one of these we can break through. This is the elevator spot, but no elevator for us to go through. We're just gonna have to use all these bars to pull ourselves up. Thankfully, they're here in very convenient places, though some of them are kind of annoying, like this one, which is kind of broken off so we don't get the full jump. But we can come down here, grab this one, see that there will be this hand, which we can use some pressure on, get that door to go open, and then swing ourselves all the way over there. It's pretty fun movement. And from there, we are in this huge toy factory, which just gets bigger and bigger every single chapter. But we'll keep running through. We see another one of these elevator rooms, and pretty much the exact same thing. We'll go past this one first. We'll see there was one of those Automoles. He did run away from us, but we can use some more of these puzzle finding things, like pulling ourselves on that one, then pulling ourselves to the side. Then if we wait a second, this thing is going to collapse, which reveals another one of these ladder things, so we can pull ourselves there, and also get this one to continue moving ourselves. And pretty easy movement from here, just kind of climbing up this entire thing until we see another one of these. We'll pull that. We see the 5 on those stairs, so we continue on that way, and we see a new room where someone just closed that door, but I'm sure it's not a problem at all because we can open it with our blue hand. And from here, we are now in the biodiversity labs. With this, there's going to be a lot of these guys, which we have to use our pressure hand on and explode them, and we can also pull away some of those vines, push some boxes. There's plenty of stuff. There's also going to be these pressure valves, which we have to push with, use our hand to create pressure on those, and then hit a lever. And now here's this huge area with just so many of these things that we have to pop. so we'll go one by one along with pulling all these roots. And I don't even want to know what this entire thing is. I'm kind of a little weirded out, but you know, it is what it is. My main thing is I just have to worry about what I can control, and what I can control is just popping these things. So final 2 pops are going to be over here, and then it's going to give us a couple more vines which we can pull on. There's going to be this one at this spot. And finally, there's this huge thing which we can pop in the middle. As we start going over towards this red door, we pop it there and continue on our way. Another one of these elevators, which sprays water on us for some reason. Now, once that opens up, we can continue going on our way. For this one, we want to go over into the utility room, and there's going to be a couple of batteries. We can grab that one first. We can see this vent. Of course, we can use our pressure hand on it. And through here, there's going to be one of these energy puzzles where we have to put both of those batteries in there and then get this light to go on both of these bars. And all you have to do for that is just wrap them around these poles a couple of times, use your hands to connect them, and then we see our boy Chum, who's a little bit angry at us at first, but then Giblet tells him, no, this is actually a friend. So they have their conversation. We kind of just have to follow them for a while again. And Giblet tries to convince him that, hey, we should probably kill the prototype. Oh yeah, also Chum has an entire screwdriver just in his belly, so that's pretty cool. It allows us to go through, and now we can jump through this spot because we got a couple puzzles we got to do. We'll break through this door using our pressure hand, and then we have to match both of these things to where their little like green lines are going to be. And then there's this puzzle where normally in casual gameplay, Giblet just makes fun of you for not being good at this puzzle, and he's like, is this guy really the butcher? But we can just completely cheese it by jumping up here and then doing a big jump all the way over to this spot, doing another big jump, making it over there, and then we can restart from the last checkpoint. Which, by the way, one thing I should mention is my speedrun is no major glitches, so we're not doing major things like breaking out of the map, though that run is really cool too. I do recommend it. I just like doing the no glitches runs. I will have some resources in the description if you do want to see the good runs with the glitches, of course. Also, shout out to Leelaman. I used their video of this run to learn it, so that will be in the description too. Anyways, we go past that, and now we got a couple more of these sections where there's some boxes and we got to jump on them. I'll use the same technique of just pulling on the box, jumping a couple of times, and we somehow make it up. Then we can pull this red box, make a huge jump all the way over there, which will be a bit faster before pulling this out. And now this kind of can be a little bit of an annoying section because there is going to be a secret code. Some of the codes in this game will always be the exact same, and sometimes they'll change. We'll check this one. We see it's 95 and 399. And I'm just going to hope that that's the correct code. It could be some of these other ones on these other shelves, but a lot of times that will be the code and we just get lucky. So I can pull that down, press that battery in there, see 95, so we know that code was correct. We got lucky this time, and we can put in the 399, which is pretty cool. So yeah, if we didn't get lucky there, we would have just had to go back down and tried to find the code again. It would have only taken a little bit of time, but I'm happy we got that because it's just a bit faster. Now, as soon as we make it out of this elevator, what we can do is just a jump over to this spot so we don't have to use our magnesis hands. Oh, which by the way, that is a power up we got. I've already used it and I just kind of forgot to mention it. But with this, we will see walls like this which do have magnet powers, and we can use our hands to bring ourselves over to those walls, and you know, it's just a pretty fun time. So we'll use it in spots like that. We'll see some more outimals, and here is another puzzle where we have to get circle, hexagon, triangle. So what I'm going to do is use my flashlight and its special powers to see where each of those are going to be. I get the circle first, then I get the hexagon, and I don't know where the triangle was. Okay, I kind of went completely out of the way. We don't have to talk about it, but we got all of those, and now we are good on that. We can switch over to our pressure hand and then bring ourselves up, and now we have to line up these two things with their amount of pressure. So first of all, I'll start on the right and move this door, and I want to move it to about that spot before then moving the door, which is in back. So I'll move it about over there, which should be enough. Then I can pull myself with the magnet hands, make ourselves go all the way over here, and that was pretty nice. Another fall that we probably shouldn't have survived, but we got another one of these tiny puzzles. With this one, we want to give a little bit of pressure to this stuff, and as long as there's pressure in that area, then we can pull these things. This one's pretty easy. It's just over at the bottom, so I just keep slightly pressing it. And then this one is a bit higher, so I do a huge push for the first time, and then pretty much the exact same thing. Then after doing both of those, bringing them all the way, we can make our way into this elevator. And once that opens up, there's going to be more of these magnet walls. I'm not sure why they're all around this place. This company is crazy, how they just have these things and they expect employees to do this to get all over the place. But we're going through some more vents. Nothing really too much to worry about here, because we just make it over to the end, make it through there, and we see our boy Giblet over here. We can give him the files. Giblet's like, hey, you should help us kill this guy, and Chum's like, hey, don't really want to, but I guess I will. But eventually the prototype does come by, and Chum is like, I don't know what to do, so he just eats us. And then we kind of just chill in his stomach, talks to him, you know, normal stuff. But after that's done, we get spit back out. This man is like, I am so sorry about that. And, you know, it's okay, man. It's okay. But the dude pats us on the head and then waves by. What a nice guy. Really hope this guy doesn't die at some point. But anyways, we gotta keep going on our way. We're going over to Reanimation. Now, there are going to be all these classrooms and crazy stuff in this place, and we're just gonna run our way through, and then we just have to open some doors. It's actually pretty simple. You just go from one room to the next, opening these doors very slowly. These look like very heavy doors, and eventually we make it over to this room where there is going to be a crack in the glass, so we know that's the perfect place to use our hand. Now from here we have to restore power over to this facility, so I'm gonna head over into this direction. There's going to be this blue room, and there's going to be that yellow closet, that red one. We'll go over here first where we can find this battery. We have to bring this thing over with us, so I just kind of drag it very awkwardly until we make our way over into this room. We can put it there. That opens up that drawer, and we get the conductive hand. And this hand is nice because it gives us power, like the power of ice and fire. So we can take this ice power, we use it on whatever that stuff is, and try to switch hands, but that was a little weird how it didn't give us the option for a second. But we can switch hands, move that over, switch back to our conductive hand, get the power of fire with that, and go over to these braids, which we can get rid of with the fire, and go through this door where there are going to be all these cabinets we have to open, and we get some electricity powers, and pretty simply, all we're going to do is get the electricity on each of these things. Once that's done, we now have power to the facility, so we can come over here, we can use the red hand to open this door, and our very first thing we want to do is open a couple of doors with our blue hand. We won't go over here just yet, but we will open that door just so we won't have to later, including this door over here. So that will get both of those done, but then we want to head into this blue door where something does break off. I'm sure it's not a problem at all because I just got to keep going on my way. And in this building, it's a pretty simple puzzle. All we have to do is move these valves. We'll move this one first. Then we come up towards the top of these stairs. There's going to be this one. And after that one, there's the one in the middle of the stairs. And finally, we head over to this blue door where there's going to be one more of these valves. And once all those are done, we can then push this lever. So now with that, we can come over to this place. We can open that door, get our conductive hand so we get the power of fire, come over to this spot where we can move this valve, cause that thing to go on fire, which causes that glass to break, and use our hand to break that window open. That gives us this memory thing, so we're going to take it with our blue hand and continue on our way, pretty much the exact same place we came from. But we're not going to use this thing just yet. We're actually going to take it with us, and this is why we wanted to open those doors earlier. That way I didn't have to worry about dropping this thing, and we can just bring it with us to the other spots, which I actually am kind of going in the wrong direction right there. Okay, we want to go to this spot first where there's going to be this red door. We can use our conductive hand, get that electricity, and go to this yellow door first and turn on that power. And in here, there are going to be all these videos which give you lore about this woman named Miss Gracie. We're just trying to speedrun. I don't have time to watch these videos, so we'll just turn on the power for these different places. Our last one, we're going to take this left path and head our way over to this yellow door. We can open that up, put on one last projection before going over to this red door, which now opens up and we get the power of fire. We can then bring that over to this braid, get rid of that locked door, and there's going to be another one of these memory things, so now we have both of them. So we want to head back over to the main area and go over to that first door that we opened with this huge room, and we want to bring these memory things over here, and we can just place them in their different places. So we just go with that. There's going to be one on the floor, and now we can go into this person's memories. And by this person, I mean Huggy Wuggy. And we get to play some pretty simple mini games like this one where we have to put the shapes in the holes. This is supposed to be the square shapes, but I just put absolutely everything in here, and we just do this 3 times. It's not the most interesting part of the speedrun, I'm not gonna lie, so we're gonna skip past it. And a bunch of shapes later, we are now very angry about what's going on, and Miss Gracie's like, hey, I'm gonna go and hit you with all this gas. And they're gonna make us pass out, and that's pretty much the memory. So yeah, that was pretty traumatic. But now it's time for memory 2, since we got 3 of these. And with this one, we get a dance party. Oh yeah, I love dancing. You know, it's just us and the smiling critters. We're all just enjoying our time. And in between songs, we gotta go over to the Huggy Wuggy light, and it's pretty simple stuff. But there is one critter that isn't dancing, and he's being kind of a jerk. So of course, we pick him up, and we put him in that box. I'm sure he's gonna be fine in there. And then we're like, hey, I'm a much much better dancer than these guys, so I put them in my hands so they can dance in my hands, and then put them in the box too. So that's pretty cool. And after a bit of friends, of course, Huggy Wuggy is going to start getting angry, pretty much the same with last time, so we're just going to continue this. Then the room fills with gas again, and we pass out, which means it's time for the third and last Huggy Wuggy memory, and with this one, we're getting transported by some guy, and we get strapped down to watch some more Miss Gracie. But Huggy decides he's tired of Miss Gracie, so we smash the TV, we go to all these plugs, and we start pulling them out, and then we go to the TV, get the handlebars, pull that thing out, get ourselves out of there, try to start breaking through these windows, but the scientists are like, no, we can't allow that to happen. Thankfully for us, though, we can just break through that and start attacking them. It gives us this whole scenario where I don't really know what's happening, but it ends with Huggy going and just trying to murder some people. Now we get that code, we're just going to memorize it, and we got to put it into this place, so that's going to be 910541, and the 4 didn't go off. Okay, second time is the try. Again, the 4 does not want to go off for some reason, but we open that door, we can go through. And as soon as we get done with Huggy's memories, Huggy comes over here and starts to chase us. Thankfully, we do have some human-sized vents, so it's very easy to go through these, and we're pretty much just running away from Huggy Wuggy, going through some more human-sized vents, and finally, once we make it about here, we then fall down. Huggy Wuggy comes by. He's like, yeah, I'm about to murder you, dude. So he comes up to our face, screams at us, but then Kissy Missy comes up on a projector and he gets distracted. So that's how we have to distract Huggy Wuggy during this scenario, where we got to keep making sure he doesn't want to murder us because he wants to murder Kissy Missy or something like that. I don't really know. But we can go power on a projector. Huggy Wuggy is going to run past over to that and not even pay attention to us. So that's pretty cool. And we can use that time when he's distracted to go and get things like these batteries. So there's going to be this one first, which we can get through this place. And we're basically just going to pull with our hands, hope that Huggy Wuggy isn't going to find us. And then I can place this battery over into this spot. That's going to be number 1. And we have to get 3 total. Now we can come over to this vent, open that up, go through this place. Thankfully, we have our handy dandy flashlight. And with this one, we're going to pull ourselves up, go through here, kind of get injured for some reason. Not really sure why, but we can go down into this room where there's going to be another battery. And I just have to hope for this spot that I was fast enough to where Huggy Wuggy isn't coming towards us, because I mean, we could distract him again, but I'm trying to go fast. This is a speed run. So we're going to bring the battery over there. That's number 2. We can see that Huggy Wuggy is in this spot. So what I can do is place the energy over there, go in this direction, because we know Huggy Wuggy is going to be in that room. And we'll head over into this back area where there's going to be the last battery. Now Huggy should be distracted enough for us to bring this battery all the way over. So we do just that, putting it in this spot, or at least trying to. These are really big batteries. And that opens up this door. So yeah, pretty easy Huggy section if you know what you're doing. And now we're into this area, which this is just kind of creepy. It's this whole big area with just a bunch of props. And what we have to do is power on this car. So I can use my pressure hand to explode that first and then get some energy. Then we can bring it over to the Huggy car, press that, press this button, and continue on our way because that opens up the gate. And yeah, it's pretty much just this. We ride the car for a second, we eventually get stopped, so we have to exit, we grab some more energy, and then we start on the car one more time and just continue this process. There's also going to be some balloons going through, so we can pop those. That's kind of fun. But our next piece of electricity is going to be over here. I can do a nice trick shot all the way over there, get that right away, go a bit faster. And this time, once it stops, I actually have to move a bit farther. We're going to make our way over to this play structure, use our magnet hands to get up here, and we're going to hear some giggling as we go through, so that's kind of weird. Not sure who that was, but I don't have time to worry about that. I'm going to take the electricity, come over to this car, the very front of it, so we smash our face directly into that gate. Didn't hurt at all. Not too much to worry about. And we see Lily Lovebraids, who's like, oh, how you doing? You trying to come to a party? And you know, she's not crazy at all. She's just trying to party. That's all. But we go spawn back in her house, so now we're kind of just chilling here. And you know me, I'm definitely trying to party, so once she asked me to go retrieve crumpets from the basement, I'm going to. So we go run over here, we go on our way, but then we get stopped by a hand that somehow grabs us, and we see Kissy Missy and Poppy. They talk to us for a while and are like, hey, you trying to help us escape? And I'm like, I guess. But I gotta worry about the party first. So I'm gonna open up all of these ovens. The crumpets are always gonna be in the last one you open up, so we're gonna bring those up with us. We just run up the stairs, we talk to Lily, give her the crumpets, and she's pretty happy. Now we have to go get her friends, because they also will want to be here for this party. And one important thing is you can't enter any of these rooms before she stops talking. Otherwise she gets angry at us because she doesn't want want us to be a jerk. So I'm going to stay out of this room while I go use my pressure thing to get on that. Then as soon as she's done talking, we'll come over here. We use the code, which is going to be yellow, purple, blue, red. That opens up the piano and we can get this guy. So pretty easy stuff there. That's going to be one of the friends. We'll place him in that chair. Now we start coming up here with our magnet hands. Again, we don't want to go too fast, but we can start opening up these doors while Lily is talking because we still are in the main area. And we'll use our fire hand to go get that. We'll open up this thing. See, there's a bunch of hair and there's one of the friends over here. So we can grab that one secondly, and same kind of idea where we want to bring it over to its chair. For some reason, it didn't want to go in its chair right away, but that's fine. And for the last one, we want to come over towards the garage and wait one more time. And for this one, as soon as we can run through, I do want to get my pressure hand, and there's going to be a couple of places we can pull. We can pull that wall. We can pull this one too. It's going to open up a couple of things. We can open up this car. There's going to be this battery, which we can put there, and the other battery is going to be in these drawers. So we're going to use our pressure hand to knock through that. There's going to be this guy, and we can place that in there, get our conductive hand, use that electricity to open up this car where there's going to be the last one of the friends. So of course, just like the other ones, we're just going to bring it over to the table, pretty simply just over to that chair, and that's all three of the friends gotten. But now Lily wants us to come help her in the kitchen, and eventually once Lily is done talking for a while, she tells us to return the recipe book over to its shelf. But this was a terrible idea for her to tell us to do, because we are going to bring it over to its shelf, but then we're going to explore some other stuff. Why? I don't know. I think we should just have the party, but the game wants us to. So we're going to open that up. We're going to check over here. There is going to be this fire. I'm going to miss it once because, you know, that's kind of just what I do. And then we'll go and bring that to get that poster. We can bring this box down and use that to jump over to this window. Then we're going to come over to this wall, and this is going to open Lily's room up, which there's some interesting stuff here, like a dead body that's just sitting there, but I don't have time to worry about that because I do have to go and find her drawer, get rid of that hair, and then open this thing up, open this one too, switch over to our other hand. That way we can break this open and get the master key, which we can use to rescue Poppy and Kissy. Now Lily is pretty angry at us, which is kind of fair. So yeah, unfortunately she now very much wants to murder us, but we don't have time to worry about that. We got to go rescue some people. And eventually we make it back over towards this main room where we can just go straight over to Kissy and Poppy. Now right here for this puzzle, right away we're going to want to turn on the energy in this spot, so I just push that. And then the fun thing about this part is the entire time Poppy's just like, hey, you find a way to free us, and we just don't say anything to her because, you know, I know how I'm going to free you. You just got to wait a second. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to open up that, but then she asks again, found anything? Give me a second, Poppy. All right, I gotta look around for a second, but you know, it's fine. I get it. She's probably a bit worried, but we are gonna get that button. We are gonna get the cold stuff, which we can use to freeze that, and then use our pressure hand to explode that thing. But as soon as we do that, Lily hears it and is like, oh, what's going on down here? But once Lily leaves, we can then go switch our hands, and we're gonna want to get this hot stuff and pretty much just head over here, open up that vent, open that thing as well, go through this lock, and we rescue both of these guys. But as soon as we do that, we want to go head our way over here and take our other light. That way we can see where we're going. And we got to escape through the attic, but Lily is very upset at us. So we're going to go through here before she stops us and is like, hey, time to play a game. And for this game, we can only move while Lily is singing or during this beginning section where she hasn't started yet. And we do have to follow this trail. If you stop following the trail, then she gets angry at you. So that's kind of important. As soon as she says stop, we stop and we just continue on doing this thing. So it's pretty easy stuff, especially when you know where the path is, but she is also chasing after you. So when you don't know where the path is, it's kind of scary, but I'm going to make my way over here, hear a stop, and we do have to break that window because we know eventually we will be going through there. Now she's going to pick up the pace. She has some faster humming, and we just got to keep running through. She says stop again. And finally, we have one last sprint, which, by the way, I also love how our flashlight hand, he looks so scared at some points, and then the other times he has the cool sunglasses on. It's awesome. But as soon as we make it to Kissy and Poppy, we get captured. So what was the point of that game? Not really sure. But hey, at least it's time for unskippable cutscene. And for this one, we finally get to see what the prototype looks like. He gets mad and breaks Poppy's face a little bit. And then Lily tries to attack Poppy, which makes the prototype angry. He hits Lily. That gets Kissy Missy free. She attacks the prototype, just completely destroys him. She's kind of broken. And yeah, now we're free, kind of. But at this point, we gotta run away from Lily, so that's our main objective, but we got a pretty cool trick right away. Now what we want to do is aim our hand over here and kind of get this magnet spot, but sometimes it doesn't work. And if you wait too long, Lily will count, so I'm actually just going to restart from the last checkpoint. And second time is the try, because if Lily counts all the way down from 5, she does just immediately kill you, which is kind of crazy. So we are going to go over here, skip some of that stuff, move our way past this, and now Lily's trying to come towards us, saying we're a bad toy. I don't even know if we are a toy or not, but I guess that doesn't matter at this point. We try to make our way up through here, completely miss a couple of times, and we do have to be a bit fast so Lily doesn't just one-shot us, but we'll see. She comes through there. We can start jumping on all these things, and she really wants to murder us, which is actually kind of sad because Lily does say a line where she can't go to a better place. We can't either, so that's kind of sad to hear. I don't really know what went on with her in the past, and I do probably feel bad for her. There's probably some crazy stuff, especially because she's with the prototype, but we don't have time to worry about that. That's lore, and I'm just trying to speedrun. So I'm going to be making my way over here. We'll grapple ourselves to this spot, start going over here too, and finally, we're good to go. But Lily is going to jump on this stuff. She is like, I am trying to murder you. You came to my tea party and you destroyed it. And you know, I do feel bad about that. It was a nice party, you know, at the very least, but we do hit that down and she very much struggles to get up. The thing falls on her and she's definitely dead. So pretty sad for Lily, but it is what it is. That's why they call me the Butcher. And after a while longer, we spawn over in this spot where we just move forward for a bit until we see these guys. We see Giblet. He's like, oh, is Bobby okay? Another unskippable cutscene. Yeah, though, she could be doing better. Now, as soon as we can get going, we have to go get our way over to the train. So that's going to be our main goal. So we'll head through this spot, just go through some doors and go through this spot, which is pretty much just running simulator. Not too much to say. Until eventually we make it to this spot, we go down through there, we turn over to the right, and now instead of just running simulator, there's also a bit of climbing simulator, so that's fun. And we get over to this room where there's this entire science lab. We got to get our pressure hand to push that up, and that's going to allow us to go get that lever, which gives us this firepower. So we can move over that valve, that way we can get that on fire, and that's going to open up one of these drawers. And while that's happening, we're also going to look for other parts of the code. Now we can see the first part of the code is 5, and the code can be in any one of these drawers, so I just have to go through them. All right, so we see the last part is a 3. Here's going to be a 1, that's the third part, and under this limon, there's going to be the last part of the code, so I can put the 5 in first since we already saw that. See that that's going to be a 7, so then we can continue on with the rest of the code, 713. That opens up this spot, so we can go through, we can open up this next door, and we just have a little bit of a puzzle here where what I want to do is go and get some energy, pour ourselves up with our magnet hands, and then do a big jump all the way over there. That way it hits both of those points and opens up that door. And from here, we're kind of just running through where there's another code which you have to get, but thankfully this one never changes, so it's just going to be 231, and we can get that nice and easy. Go down here, go into this right door where there's going to be this room, and for this I want to get the electric powers first, turn that on to cold, go do that stuff where I make that cold, use the pressure hand, that's going to explode that, then I can turn it into hot, and yeah, pretty simple stuff where I just open up that door, then that's going to open up this area so I can run through there, see some guy who's just, you know, scattering his way through, but through this door there is going to be this battery, and I can place that into here, which opens up this huge room, which I don't even know what's going on here, but I have to power off all these machines. Now this one specifically, you want to do the pressure thing with the lever thing, and for these other ones, all we have to do is move their batteries from the bottom over to the top. Then I can press my hand on there, I can use my power if it actually wants to work to go all the way up here. I can do a couple of jumps, that way I can hit all of those lights and move it there, so that's the first part. Then I want to get some more power, I want to use this to go get all the way there. That was not supposed to happen at all, but I think that works. Yeah, kind of weird physics that just happened, but it will work out at the end of the day. And I do want to miss all of those grabby hands that are trying to hit you because they will damage you. They're not going to kill you, so you don't have to worry about that. But I will hit down that lever because there will be a waiting section. We get hit a little bit, only a little bit of damage, and we wait right here. Eventually, this part opens up, which it is going to be another valve, so we can start moving that. And as soon as that's done, it's going to open up the door. We can go over to the right, see another one of these little guys. He's going to tell us, hey, you should probably come over to this spot, so we can open that up, get a battery, put that in this spot, which opens up another door, and we get a loading screen. And now it is time for the final Huggy chase of this game. So here's going to be a jump scare, or not really a jump scare, I mean, I guess a little bit of one, where he smacks us in the face and he's like, hey, you should probably run. But pretty easy running section where I'm just kind of going forward. Eventually, he's going to crash down that stuff, so we do have to crouch beneath it. And I mean, we're supposed to run, not crouch. Not sure what we're doing. That's a joke from Purple Hair Guy because he was watching me play this game one time and he was like, yeah, why are you not running? But we're going to use our blue hand to go through there, get that thing, move that battery. There's going to be a bunch of this goo, go through there, do a couple of jumps, make our way through there, and we make it over to Kissy and Poppy. But Huggy Wuggy's like, you shouldn't be here. But Kissy, Missy, and Huggy Wuggy are like, hey, maybe we shouldn't fight. And after a long cutscene, they're like, hey, maybe we should finally be friends, until Huggy gets stabbed by the prototype because he really likes doing this to people. And yeah, unlucky for Huggy, just completely destroys him. And he does the exact same thing to Kissy. Poor Kissy, she gets stabbed one more time. They're probably both not alive. But now it is time to run from this dude. So I'm going to run over here, try to hit that, miss it multiple times because, you know, this is a very scary chase. You know, you got to miss sometimes. But for this entire fight, what is going to be happening is he keeps trying to stab through places like these windows, and I got to make sure I don't get hit by those. I mean, it kind of is fine if you do get hit by them because they only do some damage. They don't insta-kill you, but I do want to watch out for them at least. Now I'm going to pull that back, continue on our way, move this plug over, then there's going to be this battery, so I'm going to switch hands. That way I can actually pull, bring that over to this place, and that's going to turn on this electricity, which goes completely electrocutes the prototype, so that's nice. And we can open up this next door. Then next up, pretty much same thing where he has his hands. I get kind of stabbed, so I do have to be a bit more careful, but I'm gonna get this ice power. We can then use our hand to explode all that ice just like normal. And then I actually want to grab the ice power again. I'm gonna make sure I don't die here, so we'll be a bit careful, but we can use this ice power on that right away, which speeds us up a bit. Instead of having to use the later ice power, you know, having to move kind of more carefully through that, we can just do that right away. Come up here, explode some more ice, pull this lever next, which will deal with some more prototype stuff. So I'm kind of just waiting for him. He gets exploded, and that's going to open up this spot, which is now burning. So I'm going to do a couple of jumps through here. Finally, we can make our way with our magnet hands to go over there. And at the same time, we want to move this guy. We can move that forward. Poor Flashlight looks so worried. Don't worry, buddy. We're going to be fine. Because this is the last train car we have to do this on, and pretty much the exact same stuff. Finally, after here, though, what I like doing is just tanking one of these hits because it's not really going to matter. We can come through. We do get a bit injured, but we're mostly fine. And we just have to make sure we don't get hit again. So I go through these guys. That thing is kind of annoying. Accidentally crouch when I should have jumped. We don't have to talk about it. And come to this part where we're on the final train. So what we have to do for this part is get some electricity. Now we're going to come over here, grab this valve, put it on that thing, start charging that up, then be able to use our conductive hand to bring the electricity over there. Then there's going to be this ice stuff. We can grab that, put that into the goo, and then jump off the train while this guy is frozen. So we make a huge jump. We're like, hey, we're probably fine. We see an explosive, and you know, we probably won. We're like, hey, that guy definitely has to be dead now, right? Except, of course, he isn't. The prototype was definitely not going to go down that easy. So now he comes after us. And even though we do try to run for a little bit, he's going to stab us directly through the stomach, and we're dead. He really loves stabbing people. Then the prototype is like, hey, check out this YouTube thumbnail pic, and drops us in some goo, until eventually we get a scripted death sequence. So I guess this wasn't deathless like I wanted to, because the game forces you to die. But then we do wake up because the boy Giblet wakes us up with some electricity, and all we have to do at this point is run and make it to the backup to end off the speedrun. So within here, there is going to be this computer screen, so we go over there. It says something about a backup, not really my problem. I press a key, but we need an override, so we have to open up these two glass places. We use our pressure hand for that, hit down those levers, and that's where we're going to call time. Or at least I'm pretty sure it is, but that's going to be a sub 120. Oh yeah, the doctor also comes back, so that's interesting. But yeah, subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye.